Live from CW31, this is Good Day Sacramento in HD.
The 3 must-dos before you have surgery. That's straight from a doctor himself. We're going to talk live with this anesthesiologist coming up.
Going under the knife can be an overwhelming experience, but there are a couple of things to know before you go that would ease your mind before the big day. Mary Ann's with an anesthesiologist this morning. Huh?
Look at me, I am hooked up. I am ready to go.
Yeah, look at you. Oh,
these are things that would be attached, and should be attached to you during surgery. Dr. Dr Friedberg is a well-known anesthesiologist, and we're talking about things you need to know and should know before you go into surgery. And one of them is, of course, being monitored during the whole procedure. So what have you got on me here? I've got a blood pressure monitor on my right arm.
Right, and we're going to put your cardiogram lead so we can show your heart is actually beating.
All right, and these are things the anesthesiologist watches, or the doctor, the surgeon watches?
No, the anesthesiologist watches these things. Yeah. And you'll see them come up on the screen here in just a second.
Look at all that.
And this is all we had before 1996. And what's on your forehead is a sensor for the brain monitor, which is on your left-hand side over there.
Am I functioning so far? Does it look good?
Let's see. I think you're doing great.
Good. That's good to know. It's quite early.
We have a pulse.
We have a pulse. Thank goodness.
We have a pulse.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a pulse.
Houston, we have a pulse. This is interesting. There's some things you say we ought to know before people go into surgery. And the first one, actually, is to find out who your anesthesiologist is.
Right. Not always an easy thing because they're frequently not assigned to the day before, but you can often find out which several anesthesiologists work with that typical surgeon.
Yeah. And if I find out, what does that tell me? I mean, do I have the right to choose? And how do I know if the person who's assigned to me is a good one?
Well, the first thing you want to ask after you get a hold of them, either by phone or email or in person, is, will my brain be monitored during anesthesia? Will I have a brain monitor specifically?
Okay, and why is this important, such an important device? What's it telling you besides the fact that my brain is operating?
Well, it's telling you how asleep you are. In other words, when you stop talking to me, I have no way to know exactly how deep you are.
Right,
and the object of this exercise is to be sure that you wake up with the same number of marbles that you started with.
Yes, that would be convenient. This is
essential.
Okay, and you mentioned asking for the brain monitor and interviewing anesthesiologists about which drugs they're planning to use on you, because we've heard a lot about propofol, which is what Michael Jackson was being given,
right.
And then people are a little bit freaked out about that information.
Tens of millions of people have had propofol safely precisely for the things that we never saw in the public pictures of Michael Jackson's bedroom, the pulse oximeter or the brain monitor. Both of those would have saved his life because they would have been early warnings of not breathing.
Yeah. Okay, so what can you tell me? What's my pulse, by the way?
It's 95 beats per minute.
So it's a little fast.
A little fast.
Uh-oh, I don't like that sound at all.
No,
not one bit.
Because you're shaking your finger.
Oh, that's why, because I'm shaking my finger.
Right.
All right. Pulse is good. Blood pressure was okay?
Blood pressure was okay. We had a little difficulty with it over your cuff there, but if you wait a second, it'll come up.
All right, let's see. It's generally pretty good most of the time.
The really important thing is that you can't get the information about your brain from this monitor.
Yeah.
The only way you can get the information is by directly measuring it, and asking for it is clearly a no-brainer.
Right.
The drugs I'm giving you are designed to medicate your brain, not your heart rate and your blood pressure.
My heart rate, that's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen my heart rate like going before. 100 over something? 101 over?
It's coming up.
All right.
Yeah, I want to do it again.
As we try to get my blood pressure here this morning, we want to give you more information about how to be ready for surgery. GoodDaySacramento.com/show information, or show info, rather, our show information page. Enter today's date. Dr. Friedberg, thank you. Very interesting information.
Pleasure.
Thank you for the vitals. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Back to you.
You're a very calm, cool, collected patient.